Perhaps just buy this figure already and make those SJWs who dislike lolly characters on Twitter, make them mad. Everyone needs to buy this figure, buy more lolly figures. Hi and welcome back to the channel, Steven right here with this week's figure news fix, which are figure pre-orders for 19th of December to 24th of December, Christmas Eve. There are a lot of figures going on pre-order this week, and this week's theme, the main title for this week is inflation. So there are a lot of figures this week that are very expensive. I know I have been ranting about FuRyu overpricing the figures, those scheduled for release next year, but seems like everyone has started to do it. So unfortunately, we'll have to deal with that with our own wallets. Without further ado, let's head into AmiAmi.com. 24th of December, there are no figures on pre-order, fortunately, because, well, 23rd of December, there are 3 days worth of figure pre-orders, a lot of stuff going on. So the first one over here, we have a 1/7 scale MX-chan from Max Factory. I have no idea what this character is. My guess is that this is a mascot character for Max Factory with MX, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. 28,800 yen is very expensive. No discounts over here for early bird pre-orders coming out in October 2023. However, being someone who is a sucker for details, I really love what I'm looking at with this figure. I mean, look at that. There's so many things to look at all over her torso, her body, and those glasses on her head. Those look like work glasses to me, workshop glasses. Yeah, very nice. And look at that back side. Wow. No, I am very tempted to get this figure. Yeah. So I won't be pre-ordering this now, but this figure is definitely on my watch list. What about you? The next one over here, a very popular franchise, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. We have Frederica Miyamoto, which is a rather popular character over in IMAS. Like, there has been several figures of this character out already by now. So this is a 1/7 scale figure by Seoul International. I don't know much about this company, but at the same time, 27,000 yen, it is also on the high side, but at least you are getting a nice couch over there. So I'm willing to look past the price point of this figure. Not something I would collect, but there are a lot of details going on with this figure. So if I were to buy a figure, collect a figure solely based on details alone, which is something I love, yeah, this is something I would have my eyes on for sure. Though mainly I like that couch even more than the figure because that is a good prop for me to be used in figure photography in a diorama scene. I'm not sure if this figure is permanently glued to the couch or it is removable. Let's hope it is the latter. That is my only concern with this figure. The next one over here, we have Mota Design Summoner Neko-san complete figure, no skill mentioned, a non-skill, by Daiki Kogyo for 33,000 yen. If you're not interested in whatever the bonus that's being given here, you can get her for 1,500 yen less in a separate listing. So 33k for a Daiki figure is fairly expensive. I would say very expensive because I used to pay Daiki figures at a fraction of the cost of figures made by SkyTube or Native. Yeah, get my point. So because Daiki is mostly a B grade company, they are average. Their stuff are not bad but not excellent either. However, they used to be a very value purchase in the past at least, but now they have even gone up to the 3,000 yen. I guess that every figure company is doing it now. It is just a matter of months before every scale figure breaks the 30,000 yen barrier, unfortunately. Not much shading going on, but there is nothing unusual for Daiki. They are like the Kotobukiya of edgy scale figures, so it really depends on whether you like the art or character design of this character over here. For me, not so much. I'm skipping this one. The next figure over here hurts me so much because I really love this. I mean, yes, I'm a fan of Fate's Grand Order, but when we talk about character design alone, this one right here, Fate's Grand Order Lancer Mysterious Alter Ego Lambda, 1/7 scale complete figure, almost 30,000 yen by Alter. So you see, when it comes to character design, how many figures out there comes in a raincoat? What's more, a raincoat that is shaped like a penguin? I don't think there are any at all. And for that reason alone, this figure is a very good purchase despite the price tag because of how unique it is. I mean, look at that swag. sunglasses over there. Very nice. This is a must-have for me, right? It is an easy decision despite the price point. The next one, another albedo figure. There are so many skill figures of her, I've lost count already. This one is ending version art by Sobin, by Spiritel for 26,400 yen, which I would say is still kind of reasonable. No discounts over here. So with this figure of albedo, which is on a photo frame of sorts, it is like a 3D photo frame. This is not a new concept. Almost 10 years ago, Good Smile released a Hatsune Miku figure with a similar concept. I think that was the first one where we had a figure lying on a photo frame. However, one can argue that this is way better looking than that Hatsune Miku figure, which is an old figure by now. So, if you were to ask me, is this a good purchase, a good pre-order? Absolutely yes, because it is unique. Simple as that. So if you like albedo, yes, please do pick this one up. I'm going to go through things as quickly as possible. This is one of the most overpriced figure of the week. Okay. So from High School DxD Hero, Ria's Grammary Pure White Bikini version by Kadokawa. This is a special set 1x7 scale for 41,250 yen. So with this special set, what you're getting in addition would be a B2 fabric poster featuring a new illustration. If you're not interested in merchandise, yeah, I can get her for as low as 34,840 yen. That is a big price difference over here. So really, it depends on whether you collect merch. To me, that additional 6 or 7,000 yen for a poster, no, I'm not paying for that if you were to ask for my honest opinion. So, for some reason, KD Call figures, they are also going really high. They are really competing with FuRyu nowadays when it comes to overpricing their figures, given that KD Call's figures, they are not that detailed to begin with. I mean, there are exceptions out there, like that Saber Outer figure in a kimono, that was amazing. But with this figure of Ria's Grammary, there really isn't much details going on with this figure. So I don't understand why this thing would cost 34,000 yen. It is just white color for the most part on her outfit, right? No shading whatsoever. Though I'm just judging based on these product photos. However, I can understand why KD Call is overpricing figures of Ria's Grammary, because you look at the aftermarket of any figure by any company of this one character from High School DxD, the value just shoots up. So instead of letting all those scalpers and resellers have the profits of Ria's Grammary, the figure company would rather earn that money and take that money for themselves, right? So they price it high first, and if it doesn't sell well later on, then it's a bargain bin. The next one is also another relatively overpriced figure, also KD Call, the Eminence in Shadow Alpha Dress version, Kadokawa, special set 1x7, 33,000 yen. If you're not interested in whatever bonus that's included, in this case, rubber mat featuring a new illustration, you can get her for 27,580 yen. So that is quite a bit of savings to be had over here as well. So 27,000 yen is on the high side of things, given that, as I mentioned earlier, yeah, Kadokawa figures are not really as detailed as one would expect, but at the same time, the Eminence in Shadow, that is one of the best anime on the of the season. In terms of the comedy factor, it is very funny. So it really depends. I like Alpha a lot in the anime. I really like her. But 27,000 yen for this, I think I'm going to skip. But at the same time, I don't think this figure will drop in price after release, because I can't think of any other figure companies who will make a figure of Alpha. The reason why Kadokawa or KD Call is making this figure is probably because, well, they are holding the license and the rights to this anime series. So why not just make the figure, right? So will you buy this figure? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to skip this one most likely. Up next, from Blue Archive, we have Shizuyama Mashiro 1x7 scale. By Questq, 24,000 yen is very reasonable. Blue Archive seems to be gaining in popularity in the recent few months. And this character design, yeah, while it is not the most sophisticated, but Questq, they make amazing figures, and that rifle she is sitting on, I would say this figure can be considered to be a rather unique design to me. The character is a unique design, the red color sniper rifle over there. And I myself, as a sucker for anime girls with huge weapons, yes, this is something very attractive to me. On my watch list, but I won't pre-order it right now. Like, look at that rifle. That's awesome. Very nice from Questkill. Up next, Mushoku Tensei, we have Roxy Migodia Water Splash version 1/6 scale by Seoul International for 21,580 yen. This is one of the cheaper scale figures of the week, Seoul International. Other than that wet outfit over there, wet shirts in general, they are not exactly that special anyway. A lot of ecchi figures have this kind of option or character design. So I would say this figure isn't very attractive to me. Details are actually kind of lacking. Because they are trying to sell you that wet shirt, that drenched wet effects over there, they can't really do much shading on her outfit. The only shading I can see is on her hair. So no. If I were to buy a figure of Roxy, this wouldn't be it. Up next, this one is very attractive to me. So from Mimeyoi, a Chinese company, we have Super Sonico 10th Merry Christmas 1/7 scale complete figure for 22,400 yen. Very reasonable. I mean, she is sitting on a gift box, and overall, the overall pose of this Sonico figure in general, yeah, I think it's very pleasing to the eyes, very attractive. So she is coming out in December 2023, a year from now. We can only hope this figure actually releases on time because, well, if she gets delayed even by 1 month, then this wouldn't be a Christmas present in year 2023. And that is assuming, yeah, the courier or the shipping service actually gets your stuff arrived on time, right? Because that is a holiday season. So I'm not sure whether releasing this figure in December is a very wise thing to do by Mimeyoi. They should have tried to put it in November. I mean, it is only 1 month. I don't think it's impossible. It's 1 year from now. So if you were to ask me, would I like to have this figure of Sonico? Yes, absolutely. If you love Sonico, please do pre-order this figure. I can highly recommend this one over here. Oh yes, there's a cheaper version for under 19,000 yen, but avoid this one because there is no Christmas hat. And the one earlier at 22,000 yen, there is an additional jacket behind her. So go for that one. There you are getting extra parts. In fact, I don't see the point of this version existing in the first place. Right, up next we have Pop-Up Parade, Your Forger. My opinion for Pop-Up Parade is always the same. Wait until after release. Look at user photos before pre-ordering or buying it. So no, I wouldn't pre-order something like this because I don't know if this is going to be barely any better than a price figure that cost half as much, right? Up next, another Pop-Up Parade figure, Mei Misaki from another, that Final Destination anime. Also 4,000 yen. My advice is the same, wait after release, but at the same time, there are not many figures from another out there in the market. So really, it is really up to you whether to pre-order this one. My stance on Pop-Up Parade figures, they are the same. I won't pre-order them. Up next, we have Kashima from Kantai Collection. This is a limited edition military patch 1/7 scale by Amakuni, an excellent figure company. So 23,000 yen is reasonable, even though, well, it is slightly on the high side to be honest, because this is a very simple figure. But at the same time, Amakuni's craftsmanship is excellent. So I don't see why you shouldn't go for this figure if you are a fan of Kantai Collection. Personally, I don't collect Kantai stuff, right? I know there is a war going on between Kantai Collection fans and Azulane fans. And many people are saying Azulane character designs are much better, which I kind of agree. And lastly, we have on this day, 23rd of December, we have Taimanin RPG clone. Okay, 1/6 scale Asagi figure from KO6. There are 2 different skin color versions for you to choose from. This is the 10th version. So, depends on your personal preference. Taimanin Asagi actually got to know this one. This is supposed to be an X-rated game if I'm not mistaken. I actually got to know her via the H anime adaptation, yeah. So this Taimanin Asagi thing is actually very popular, right? Which I can see why there are quite a few figures from this series being made into scale figures. Q6, if you were to ask me, they have been around for a long time and their figures also B-tier company and average figure company. I mean, their stuff are good purchases simply for the reason they make figures of characters that other figure companies refuse to make. So if you like Taimanin Asagi, yes, absolutely go for this one. I wouldn't discourage you from going so. And this is a huge figure, 1/6 scale. For 23,000 yen, 24 almost it is excellent value. I'm trying to catch a breath over here. That is all for 23rd of December. A lot of figures on this one single day. Amazing figures. So if you are enjoying this figure so far, a like, click, and subscribe will be really helpful to this channel. Now let's move on to the 22nd of December. The first one over here, we have Emilia Graceful Beauty version 1x7 by Kadokawa at just over 27,000 yen. And by the time I'm making this figure news, yeah, she is already pre-order sold out over at Ami. As you can see, pre-orders are closed. Do not fret, I have a bunch of figure website links in the description below. Check them out. Maybe one of them will still have this figure up for pre-order if you're interested in her. So the amazing thing about this figure is that you're getting a bunch of props, accessories, that like that lamp over there. That is amazing. I like it a lot. But at the same time, this is fan service to me. Emilia did not dress up like this in the anime or the manga or whatever the original material is. So things like wedding dress version, birthday suit version, what else we have, bikini, or what, you get my points, right? All these versions that did not exist in original content but only artwork, these are fan service stuff to me. And in general, I'm not really a fan of them, so this is a skip for me. The next one is also a pair to that figure of Emilia. We have Ram Graceful Beauty version by Kadokawa, 25,000 yen. So it is a set with Emilia, also pre-order sold out. So if I had to choose either one, I would choose Ram because Ram is a better waifu than Emilia. I'm sorry, Emilia fans. Yeah, and I actually like the pose of this Ram a lot more compared to Emilia. Emilia was just leaning against that bench, but this one, she is actually, turning her torso around. So this is a better pose. But nonetheless, normally you will want both to complete the set. The next one, we have an overpriced 1x4 by FuRyu, just like last week we had with Gon and Hunter Cross Hunter. So this one is Type 89 Reindeer Manifesto from Girls Frontline at almost 60,000 yen. One can argue that this is a more sophisticated looking figure compared to that Hunter Cross Hunter figure from last week at 66,000 yen. So this one is a slightly better value compared to the one from last week's figure news fix. And this is kind of unique in a sense that you don't really get 1x4 skills with this kind of design, figure design very often. But at the same time, I would say that this figure should be 50,000 yen max, right? 60k is slightly on the high side. I'm sure this figure will appeal to some people. She looks great, to be honest. Up next, since we are going into a new year, which means another new Racing Miku, but the Racing Miku series, they are often a year behind. So this one is a version 2022, single shipment at 27,000 yen. So you see, this design is a bit ordinary. It is not very special at any way, but it is going to cost you a lot simply because of that giant S flag over there, which is going to take up a lot of space on your shelf and also resulting in a huge box. You are going to pay a lot for the shipping of this figure. So assuming that you like the character design of this Miku, I would say why not go for it. But look at the left leg over there. There is a huge plastic stand supporting it. Like, that is a very inelegant way to support the figure. Man, that really sucks. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this version of Racing Miku. Like, good smile, there should be a better way to support that left leg over there. Why are you doing this? Seriously, that looks like a Figma stand to me. The next one, Yotsuba Nakano Fallen Angel version, 1x7 scale from Queen's Essential Quintuplet 2nd season. 27,000 yen, this figure is by Proof. This is part of an existing set. There were several other characters already on pre-order. This is just another one. This is one of those fan servicey things I just mentioned in my Emilia and Ram figure coverage earlier. So no, this is a nope for me. I'm not pre-ordering this one. The next one is also the same thing. Itsuki Nakano Fallen Angel version, 27,000 yen as well by the same company. Fan service stuff is a skip for me. I mean, there are many other Queen's Essential Quintuplet figures out there that are way better than this one, right? So, if you are the kind who are a hardcore fan, then perhaps yes, go for it. But otherwise, go for other choices in the figure market. I'm not a fan of this. Up next, oh boy, this one is spicy. No, from No Game No Life, we have Shiro Hot Spring version, 1/7 scale. Of course, it has to be Fat Company. Fat Company has been making many Shiro figures in different configurations of some kind. So this one, 23,000 yen is a reasonable price, but Fat Company, regardless of my mixed opinions about them, yeah, I would say this is a good one to go for if you like No Game No Life. Perhaps just buy this figure already and make those SJWs who dislike lolly characters on Twitter, make them mad. Just make them angry. I don't care, right? Everyone needs to buy this figure. Buy more lolly figures. Man, this shot over here should be by Vista Studio. This is amazing. I love this photo over here. Yeah. Personally, yeah, I just told you guys to buy, so naturally I have to buy one, right? So we will see. We will see. I'm not sure yet. This figure is coming out in April 2024. You have more than 1 year to save up. It is getting ridiculous. This release dates, April 2024. My god. Up next, pop-up red Faputa from Made in Abyss. Same comments from me, wait for after release, don't pre-order it. But at the same time, I never liked Made in Abyss, regardless of all the nice things, amazing things people say about the anime. I did not really like the anime, to be honest. I'm sorry. So no, this is a skip for me. Another pop-up rate over here from Hades, we have Zagreus. 4,080 yen as well. Yeah, I know nothing about this series, but once again, wait for after release before committing to pop-up rate figures. This one looks fairly unique, I have to admit it. Very nice character design over here. And lastly, another pop-up rate as well. We have Bravely Default Agnes or Blush complete figure. What is this thing which looks like a penguin to me, but with a human head? I have no idea what is this thing really. Yeah, this is a skip for me, but very interesting character design over here. So that is all for 22nd of December. We move on to the 21st of December. There is only one scale figure over here. And this one was already on pre-order on the day before. So we shall just head straight to 20th of December and I'll cover everything over here on this day. The first figure on this day is something from Touhou Project. It looks amazing but very overpriced. So we are looking at Sakuya Izayoi illustration by Teddy, 1/7 scale from Emontoys, 43,450 yen, very overpriced. Though you're getting a B2 wall scroll, and if you're not interested in that, we have this one over here for 39,600 yen, which is still very expensive. For Touhou Project collectors, this is a must-have in my opinion. Emontoys, they have been around for a long time. It is not a new company, and the figures they make are very good. However, those effect part over there, I don't think those special effect parts justify such a high price alone, right? And for sure, this figure is going to cost a lot to ship. All those effect parts, they're going to be separate in the box, so you can imagine how huge the box is. But at the same time, regardless of the high price points of this figure, this is something I can highly recommend due to how unique this figure is. I mean, this is what a figure of a character should be. Instead of all those fan servicey stuff, we want a character with their trademark attack or their something trademark about them, something unique about them being displayed together, designed together with the figure. So this is perhaps one of her moves, her attacks, right? And it is being displayed over here together with the figure, and that is what I love about this figure. I normally don't cover action figures, but this is a 1/8 scale, and I'm going to feature this figure because I already pre-ordered this one, yes. So this is a figure by Apex Toys. Possible series under the Arc-Tech. They are making 1/8 scale possible figures actually. Chi-Chi IC Resurrection version from Genshin Impact, 16,000 yen. Go for it. Yes, if you love Genshin Impact, go for this figure. I already pre-ordered one, even though I don't collect action figures in general, because this is a 1/8 scale and it will go well with many of my other scale figures. Side by side, they will look fine. Admittedly, I don't like action figures because of the joint lines. They are very unsightly for photography. I would like my figure photography work, the figures to look more human, more like anime characters, and those joint lines, they're really not nice to look at, yeah. But I'm making this an exception because this is something from Genshin. Up next, I'm surprised this figure isn't pre-order sold out yet compared to Rem and Emilia earlier. So from Spy Family, we have Anya Forger and Bond Forger, 1/7 scale from Kotobukiya. The normal price is 17,600 yen, which in my opinion is on the high side of things. But fortunately, you can get her on a discount for under 15,000 yen if you pre-order her early. So this is a must-have for Spy Family fans. To any one of you who collect figures from Spy Family, yes, if you were to ask me to go for this one or to go for the one by Good Smile, you know what I would say? Buy both. Don't choose buy both. Because the other one by Good Smile, you are getting your Forger. With this one, you're getting Bond. So, different characters, completely different figures. Buy both if you can. Up next, pop-up rate again, we have Chainsaw Man Power for 4,080 yen. So with this one, this is one of those figures which I would stay away from. Don't pre-order until after release because you look at this figure's face expression in the mouth over there. So you see her mouth is open, you have a tongue, and in between there are very intricate teeth over there, fangs. So these teeth, they are less than 1 millimeter in size. Do you think Good Smile will get the paintwork right in such a highly mass-produced figure? I'm almost certain at this point that this figure, they will screw up something on the face of this figure before releasing it. So do not pre-order this one. Until after release, check out user photos. If by some miracle, she turns out to be well made, then go for it. Up next, pop-up rate, Urza Scarlet complete figure. I think this is a re-release, right? 3,300 yen is very low. They are not increasing the price despite a re-release. So yeah, wait for after release once again. Even though 3,300 yen seems to be very tempting, I can understand that. Next one, pop-up rate, Inuyasha Rin and Jaken for 4,080 yen. So this is a classic. This anime used to air on AXN channel and then later on Animax. But I'm not a fan of classic anime, so this is a skip for me. To those of you who are feeling nostalgic about Inuyasha, maybe it is your childhood anime, then sure, pick one up, but only after release. That is all for 20th of December. We move on to the last day, 19th of December. It is no longer on Ami Ami's homepage. So I've already filtered things out. Queen's Essential Quintuplets once again. Itsuki Nakano Wedding Version. Ami Ami and Amakuni for 28,600 yen. Releasing in November 2023. So this is a no for me simply because, this could have been a prize figure for God's sake. It's just plain white wedding dress with not much details going on. So why would I be paying over 20,000 yen for something like this when there are better figures from this anime series out there, right? So this is a personal note for me. The next one is Art FXJ My Hero Academia Himiko Toga. So this is supposed to be under Kotobukiya, but somehow it is by Takara Tomy. I think they are working together. Because Art FXJ is a Kotobukiya series for affordable scale figures, 11,000 yen, this is a good pre-order. I'm a bit skeptical of Takara Tomy because Takara Tomy, their reputation is not as good as Kotobukiya, if I had to compare the two. But it can't be as bad when it is falling under Kotobukiya's product line, I guess. What do you think? What do you think about Takara Tomy? Do you know more about them? Let me know down in the comments below. So 11,000 yen for a scale figure, I would say this is good value. Maybe take a risk pre-ordering it if you are a fan of BNHA. But if you decide to wait, I don't think that is a bad decision either because I don't see this figure becoming rare. And even if she did, there are so many other choices of this character in the market. And that is all for Figure News Fix this week, 19th to 24th December. I'm suspecting there won't be any figure news or figure pre-orders next week, final week of December, because it is a holiday week in Japan. Ami will not even update their homepage, right? So we shall see. Maybe I'll upload something else. So thank you very much for watching, and once again, see you soon. Goodbye.